Hello. So I haven't posted in a couple days. I haven't walked in a couple days. If you can see, like right here, all that I get black eyes. I mean, I just always constantly look like the Walking Dead. You just get used to it. You accept it over time, but then I have particularly bad days where I look like the Walking Dead more so than usual, and that's where I've been. I think the last post I showed you how puffy I was and how bad I was. I don't always really talk about how bad I'm feeling, but you get to the point where you just wish you were dead. I mean, it's too hard, and you tell yourself, God, whoever's listening, whatever you believe in, you say, whoever you believe is out there. If no one's out there, you talk to yourself and you just say, I can't do it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I don't want this anymore. That was one thing that I really struggled with after our daughter committed suicide. Actually, a therapist told me that that's too aggressive. You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say died by suicide, because if you say committed suicide, it's, I don't know, some sort of aggressive, rude comment to make. And it's your kid, it's your choice, however you want to talk about it. But anyway, she died by suicide. And there would be days where I would just say, I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And the worst part of it is that that changes nothing. I mean, this is the life you were given, better or worse. You have to navigate your way through it and live it. It's a lived experience. Whether you want those experiences or not, they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming at you, and it's up to you to juggle them and shuffle through your coping skills and try to figure out what to use to manage. But I just am at rock bottom sometimes, and I don't have any coping skills left. And so I haven't been walking, I haven't been cleaning, I haven't been listing marbles for sale to help out with our finances. There were just a couple days there where I couldn't do anything. I did cut my hair a couple days ago when I was feeling better. I haven't gone and gotten a haircut that I've paid for since I was 16 years old. And I had brain surgery when I was 15, and the beautician, he just kept dragging his comb down across my scars, even though I was telling him how bad it hurt. And he just kept doing it, and I've never been back. So I do cut my own hair. I cut my daughter's hair, my husband's hair growing up. I cut Sydney's hair, which I was only blessed to have her in my life as a teenager. I didn't have her, as a young child, as a stepmother. She was 13 when I met her. And but I did get it to cut her hair. And anyway, so I did cut my hair a couple days ago before I started feeling so bad, but I still haven't gone to the gym or done any of those things that I told you I wanted to do, that I shared with you that I plan to do. But I did today. I have a lovely neighbor. She's a bit older. She's 89. A lot of the people in our neighborhood are a bit older, and she's just as sweet as can be, and she has money problems too. And she goes to a church. It's a local church. She doesn't attend that church, but she does go up there because they do a food giveaway. They do it all the time, like I think Monday and Wednesday every week, but you're eligible to participate once a month. So you can pick your day, and then you have to wait 30 days to go back. So she had already done hers for the month, but she went up there with me to help me get registered. And it was a bit difficult. I've never asked for help before. I've never asked for financial assistance like that before. When I was growing up, I think we were certainly entitled to it. We got free lunches at school. I remember how humiliating that was, to have a little raggedy paper card that you would have to give the cashier, and they would punch it so everyone knew that you were poor and would bully you for it, and you would live in terror of losing that card as a 6-year-old. They expected children to be so adult back then in the 70s, and so you were. You didn't have any other choice. But my mom did get child support from my dad. I don't know what she did with it because she was constantly broke. My mom was the kind of person who She would take us to the grocery store. We'd be starving and just so glad that she would finally take us to the store. She would pick out like 15 things. She'd let us each pick out something that we wanted, but it was always garbage. She always directed us towards like donuts and ho-hos and, sugary cereals. And there was never anything like potted meat on toast. Her favorite was soup over biscuits, because all it took was, a 75-cent can of soup and, a 75-cent can of biscuits, Hungry Jack biscuits back in the day. Make the biscuits in the toaster oven, dump the lukewarm soup over the top of it, and that was dinner. Hold on. Okay, I think that's back. That was my neighbor checking on me. Hey, Chloe. That was my neighbor, the one who went with me to go get the groceries and to show me where to go. She was just checking to see how it went, but she's just lovely, just a lovely older woman in the neighborhood. Just love her to death. Just very sweet. But what I was saying was, and when I was younger and we would go and my mom would get all this garbage groceries, and then if we would go to the front line, to the front of the store and get in line, and the line took more than like a minute and a half to move, she would just get so frustrated and upset, throw the food down and walk out with us like starving, trailing behind her, because just really upset because there would be no food that night. The food we did have was horrible, which is probably why I'm always struggled with my weight. And I think gut health is, if it's compromised when you're younger, it's very hard to come back from that. But so we went to the church. It's a non-denominational church, and you just pull up in your little car, and I have this really old Saturn. I drive a 97 Saturn, so it's older than my youngest daughter. And you open the trunk, and you have to wait a little bit sometimes, evidently, and then they just load it with groceries. So I got chicken breast and some chicken thighs and soups, or canned vegetables and things like that. It was really wonderful. It's really sweet that there's a church here that does that for people. Once a month you can go and get your groceries for free. They just give them to you. And it's unfortunate, it's embarrassing to do that. You feel ashamed. You feel like, you're taking food away from other people who might need it more, although they did reassure me that they had plenty of food. They weren't going to run out, but it's still a difficult thing. I never thought that, at 50 years old, that I would need to get help with getting groceries, with food cost is just so high. And my husband works for the state as a corrections officer. He's been with them like 30 years, and he still makes the same amount of money that someone coming off the street would make. They don't give you any more money for experience or the time that you're with the state. You don't make any extra money for that. You just make the same as a 19-year-old, despite all your experience and all the things that you've done. He also he tries to work overtime, and he always was able to get overtime, but they've now cut it out. And what they've done is start paying the National Guard to come in and cover shifts, which I think has got to be more expensive than just paying their own people overtime, to pay to activate the National Guard to cover shifts that people at the facility want to cover, need to cover, so that they can support their families. But we're a lower middle class family. We're in a house that's way too nice for us. We got it after the recession, and it was extremely marked down. And so we got this house. And then once everything picked back up again, of course, the property taxes went up, the insurance went up. And then here in Florida, oh my God, the insurance is outrageous. So despite the fact that we got such a good deal for it, which was the only way we could afford it, it's now become difficult to manage. But even if we sold it, the apartments nearby are going for more than our mortgage, and with the insurance and taxes and all that, so it costs more to sell it and move out. But it's just the things like saving for a roof. The air conditioning went out. That was $7,500. We had termites that came up through a crack in the foundation and got into an inner wall. That was $2,000. We had the person who installed the chimney did it wrong, and there was a leak in the roof. That was $2,000 just to patch that. We had squirrels in the attic. That was $1,200. I mean, all this happened just in the past 10 months or so. So that's why we're needing to get food from a local charity. And it is embarrassing and difficult, but I thank God it's there, and that people like that exist in the world, and that churches like that exist. I'm not a religious person. I don't go to church. I have my own issues with it, things in childhood. If I choose to be spiritual, I do that, alone myself. But I'm glad that those places exist. I offered to volunteer there. They said not that I could, it'd have to be a really good day to do it. I'm not sure I could ask them to count on me for something like that, but I did volunteer, asked if they needed any help with anything, and they said that they were more than covered, and God bless you, have a great day. So that's all I've managed to do today. I have not still cleaned the house. I mean, you can see the disaster awaits me. I've had some feelings of insecurity about even posting this. I've made about 4 or 5 videos now, and I'm uncertain that I'll ever post them. I don't even know why I'm doing it, other than, like I said, just to help people feel less alone, especially to show people that you can get up and find yourself again and pull yourself back from the abyss, from the brink of depression and ill health, and fight your way back again. But I don't even have proof that that's going to work. All I can do is try, record it in case it does work, and maybe if it doesn't, and maybe my failures will help other people who are struggling with the same kinds of things: losing a child, losing a family member, depression, being overweight, being sick. This disease that I have causes me a lot of problems with pain, and it's very isolating. And it's difficult to find anyone else to mesh with or communicate with. I mean, I know you can go online and do that. There's just a lot of negativity and chat rooms and things that have bogged me down in the past. But I did find some friends on a chat group for people who have lost their children. It was a grief Facebook page, and I did find a lot of community sisterhood through that, but it was also awful. It was triggering because people were coming on who had had recent losses and were devastated, and you're there for support. But as much as you get support, when you give support, if you're not physically up to it or mentally up to it, then it can be draining also. So I will go back when I feel better, but I haven't been back on that site in some time. There were some people who lost children in disturbing ways that really got to me, and I couldn't get it out of my head. So I just kind of had to step back and protect myself from that. But if anybody knows any good groups, feel free to post them in the comments, I guess. I've never even posted on YouTube before. I've never done anything like this. I don't know how it works, but I think if I do decide to upload these, that people can post comments on them. So if anybody has any information to share with me or with anyone else who might be watching this, please feel free to post it in the comments. And again, I know I'm coming across maybe not quite as, upbeat as normal, but all you can do is the best you can do. You just got to keep going, put one foot in front of the other, even on days when you don't feel like living anymore. You just got to keep going. You've got to keep doing justice to the life that was given to you. Life is a gift, and it would be an insult not to try and live it. So take care. Everyone be well, and I hope to feel better soon, and see you shortly. Thanks.